Maseches Nedarim Daf Pei Tes. The Gemara discusses the halacha that someone could only be shoyel and be matter a neder by a chacham if the neder is chal and not if the neder is not chal. And if there's neder b'tanai, that the tanai was not yet neskayim, so therefore the neder is not chal, you can't be shoyel on the neder. And the Gemara brings a case of somebody that asid hanami alma if he gets married since he did not yet learn and he didn't want to get married before he learns. And he tried very hard to learn and he wasn't successful in becoming a Talmud Chacham. And the Gemara brings that they tricked him to get married and therefore was chal the neder and they were able to be shoyal on the neder only after he was married. Ein Machne Ephraim that discusses a very sadistic shaila. He brings from Achronim that say that if someone makes a Kabbalah's Nizirus B'tnai, if he doesn't do such and such a mice, or if he does do such and such a mice, Bichal on him Nazirus, then you can mevatel the Kabbalah's Nazirus because of Ossi Dibur or mevatel Dibur, similar to someone makes the Kedushin Lachalamed that wasn't Chal yet. So therefore the Kabbalah's Nazirus is like a Dibur, and it pertains to halacha of Ossi Dibur umevatel Dibur. And the Machne Ephraim is Meirich to argue on this halacha, and he says that by Kabbalah's Nazirus it does not pertain to halacha they could be choizer from the Kabbalah's Nazirus, because since you mechayiv yourself to be b'Nazirus, you can't be choizer from the Nazirus. And the Machne Ephraim brings a raya from our sugya that you see over here that there was a Kabbalah's neder b'tnai, and he wasn't able to be choizer on the Kabbalah's neder, and the only way he was able to be choizer and mevatel this neder was b'shailas chacham. So the Machne Ephraim says, you see that neder and Naziris is different than Kedushin, since it's halacha that you have to mekayim your words, and therefore you can't be choizer from the Kabbalah's neder and our sugya. And who are din by Kabbalah's Nazirus, you can't be choizer. And the Machne Ephraim continues to bring a raya from the Rosh, the Elon Daf Chav Tesam Beis, that says that Amiros Legvorim Shasl Head you can't be choizer from is because of Moitzis Vesechet Tishmor. So the Machne Ephraim says, you see, even though it's not yet chal the hegdish, you can't be choizer from the hegdish. So what then you can't be choizer from the neder? Ayin Shimon and Mebar, they argue on this raya from the Rosh, and the Machne Ephraim continues that only eights if someone's mekabel Nazirus b'tnai to be choizer from the Nazirus is if you samech on the Meidah that you moiser on the beginning of the year that all Kabbalah's neder and Nazirus should be bottled. And the Machne Ephraim says, although the Rambam brings Yesh Oimrim, that the Midos Mevatel on neder and Nazirus is specifically if you remember Teich Dibur. The Machne Ephraim says that Roiv Rishonim hold like the Rambam that even if you don't remember Teich Dibur, it's chal a bittul with the Mesiris Medah on Erev Rosh Hashanah. And the Machne Ephraim says that even the Cholkim that say that you have to remember Teich Dibur over here will agree, because specifically if neder is chal, and it's not mistav you want to be oiker, neder that's already chal. However, over here that's not your chal, the chalis nazirus, therefore it's chal of bittul even if you don't remember Teich Dibur. And the Machne Ephraim continues that even if you say that the chilik over here, you could be mekel and still the person on the chazakah that he was not mekabel Nazirus. And Machne Ephraim asks, if that's the case, then shver, why do you stay stam nedarim lahachmer? Why don't you say that you put the gav on b'cheskosi harishoino, that he wasn't mekabel and neder? Ein shil el daf yud ches, they brought this kasha, and Machne Ephraim says the answer is according to his word the Rosh that stam nedarim lahachmer is because stomo he was mekabel or neder, and the fact that he wasn't quiet, and also since he made a neder is isra chazaka mashenkin over here, since only tonight there's no race in the chazaka. Ein Chedushim from Shmuel Rozovsky that explains the beer and the machloikis, the Machne Ephraim, and the Achronim that he is arguing on the Gabi Nazirus is totally in a tremendous chakiro They mentioned the Shir El Daf Gimel and the Ikke Kabbalas Nezirus. If the Pshat in Kabbalas Nezirus is a Kabbalah that you're makabel to be noideb in Nezirus, so then it's also hated from the Machan Freien that you can't be choizer because you mechayiv yourself to be noideb in Nezirus. However, the Eish Oimrim holds that the Ged in Kabbalas Nezirus is the Yamatfis Yuguf Bikdushnas Nezirus, and it's not an acceptance to be noideb in Nezirus, so therefore you could be choizer from the Nezirus. Shmuel asked, that's hard to understand, that the Machan Ephraim learns that Hudim by a neder, you can't be choizer, and tzorchim, why can't you be choizer if you answered Hanoda Alma? It's not an acceptance in a Kabbalah that you'll be also, you just answered the Hanoda Alma, so why can't you be choizer? So Shmuel and Abdov Pavaski that we mentioned the Shil El and Av Gimel prove from this Machan Ephraim a tremendous yisoid in the Gabi, the Geder, over Iseneder. That's not the Pshat you're asking the Chaticha. If that will be the yisoid of Neder, is the asking the Chaticha. If you say you're making a Neder with a Tnai, so why can't you be Choyzer and Mevatel the Neder? It's not like you're going against the words. The whole Dibur is that this Chaticha should be Osir, and since you Choyzer, it's not Osir. So Al-Kochach, you see a tremendous yisoid that the Geder and the Iseneder is that you're makabel to be noider and to be purish from Hanoda Alma, and since you makabel on your gavro that you are being purish from Hanoda Alma, memele tzchal the Iseneder. So therefore, since the Iker Cheftza of the Kabbalah's Neder is a Kabbalah that you accepted on yourself to be Noida and to be Purish from another Almo, so therefore it's Bechlal the Issa Moitzvah says Hechatishmor to be Choyze from your words. Ein Shimon Shayosher, there's different Mahalach to explain that you can't be Choyze from a Neder, and he explains that that you could be Choyze from Mechalois because of Osi Dibur and Vatal Dibur is specifically a chalois that's chal mikoyach ha'odom, that the person is making b'koycho yubedaite like a chalois kedushin. However, a neder, like we mentioned, the Shid Aleph Beis and the Medchaf Hey and other shurim, that the Issa neder is not a chalois that's chal mikoyach ha'noider, rather it's a chalois ha'toyro that's chal since a person is making a neder. So therefore, you can't be choizer and be mevatel a neder because of osi dibur and vatel dibur, since the chalois is chal mamela. Ein sefer in Rebina that brings, that's mavur in Yishayim, that hold you could be choizer from a Kabbalah's neder, and he brings in the Sefer Simchas Yontif from Rit Al-Gazi. There's a tremendous kasha that if you learn like the Machan Ephraim, that you can't be choizer from a Kabbalah's neder. So why is it considered it's not chal the neder and you can't be shoyel, since it's already chal that you can't be choizer from the neder? So the Gabi, that should be considered that's already chal the neder, and you should be able to be shoyel on the neder. So the Rebina says, although you have to make your words because of Moitziv Sechet Tishmor, you don't have the Isser of Bal Yachal Dvoro, it's not Chal the Cheftza of a Neder, so therefore you cannot be shoyel on the Neder v'ayin shop. Moving further on, the Chassam Sofer, he asks a very interesting kasha on our sugya. He asked, that's Mavur, that even though he asked it another Alma, nevertheless, it was Chal a Chuppah by the fact that they tricked him to make a chuppah, and he asked, how could he make a chuppah? He can't make a bia because if the chuppah will be chal with hara, begmar bia will be chal the Isser Hano of Hano the Alma because he's married already, and there's will be Isser Hano Bigmar Bio, and he says he can't make a chuppah because a chuppah in the royal the Bila, according to Dasa Rambam, is not chal. So therefore, since he answered Hano the Alma beneder, so therefore can't be chal a chuppah. And the Chassam Sofer says the answer to his kasha is that they tricked him to tell him that he's allowed to do a bia, and since he thought he was allowed to do a bia, so therefore it's considered a chuppah or the bia, similar to its mavur, but ein chuppah lepsula, is that if at the time of the chuppah you think you're allowed to do a bia, it's considered a good chuppah. And the Chassam Sofer says that to rely on the Tshuvas Rashba, that you're allowed to be over a neder if afterwards you know you'll be able to be shoyel on the neder. How you could answer this kasha of the Chassam Sofer, according to tremendous yisoid from a Naftali that we brought in the Shir and Yivamis Daf Nun Zayin and Yuma Daf Yud Gimel, that there's two independent halachas in the Chalais Chuppah. There's a kinyonim of Chuppah and there's a Chalais Ishus that's Chal Mikoyach the Chuppah, and it's two independent Chalaisin. And the Naftali says that's Mavu in the Rambam that Chuppah she'in the rule the B is not Chal, is only the Gabi the Chalais Heter Ishus. However, the Gabi the Kinyonim, the Chuppah is Chal even if it's not really Bia. So according to Naftali, you could say Ein Echami made a Chuppah but didn't have a heter ishus b'hamiyah, since he had a chuppah with and all the kinyonim of chuppah, it's enough to be considered on the suin to have the isened bichal. Yesh la'ayin oid, you could say that since it's royal hater haned b'shayla, therefore it's considered chuppah royal b'yav tzorchi and oid b'zeh.